Okay, we've learned how to name basic monatomic or basic binary ionic compounds. Then we learned the stock system for those transition metals and lead and tin that can have variable oxidation numbers, variable charges. And then we learned how to name ionic compounds that contained polyatomic ions. We now need to know how to do all three of them mixed together when we don't know what's coming our way. And so that's what this practice is for. So aluminum chlorite, calcium nitrate, potassium chloride. Pause the video, give it a try, and try to write the correct formula. So aluminum chlorite has the ions here as shown. So the correct formula is aluminum chlorite. Calcium nitrate has the ions here as shown. So the correct formula is calcium nitrite. Potassium chloride has the ions here as shown. So the correct formula is potassium chloride. No parentheses needed. Those are just monatomic, a binary compound. Here are 3 new examples for you to work through. Again, pause the video and come back and check your answers. Chromium 6 phosphide is made up of chromium ions with a charge of +6. Phosphide has a charge of -3, so the correct formula is as shown. Lithium perchlorate has these ions, which join together to form this compound. Copper 2 chloride has ions with these charges, which form this compound. Another 3 for you to try. Please pause the video. Sodium bromide has ions with those charges, so we name it sodium bromide. Sodium carbonate. These have fixed charges. Sodium always has a charge of +1. Carbonate always has a charge of -2. We just call it sodium carbonate. With iron, iron is a transition metal. It has a variable oxidation number, but chloride ions always have a charge of -3. Therefore, in this case, our iron must have a charge of +3, so we call this iron 3 chloride. 3 more practice problems for you. Pause the video. Lithium hypobromite. Copper is one of those transition metals with a variable oxidation state, could have different possible charges, but we can figure out from this that if we only have one sulfate ion and that one sulfate ion has a charge of -2, but we have 2 coppers, and together those have to add up to a charge of +2 so that our charges balance out, then each copper has to have a charge of +1. So this is copper 1 sulfite. Similarly, for the iron compound, iron has a variable oxidation state, variable charges. So I need to work backwards to figure out what the charge is. I have 3 sulfate ions with a charge of -2 each, so my total negative charge here is -6. And I have 2 iron atoms where their charge needs to total up +6. So each iron atom must have a charge of +3. So this is iron 3 sulfate. I hope this helped.